Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far and welcome to today's video, which is going to be my October roundup, my monthly faves, fails and everything in between. Oh my god, there is so much to talk about. The holiday releases are still continuing to drown us. There's a lot to talk about today. Good, bad, ugly, in between. So without further ado, let's get started. So this portion of the video is very excitingly sponsored by Ana Luisa Jewelry. I was so excited when they reached out to me and asked if I wanted to collaborate with them because I wanted to join the Ana Luisa family for a long time. I've been jealous, I won't lie to you. I've been a green-eyed monster because I see all these stunning jewelry on all of my friends, Morgan, Britt, Gemma, everybody's been rocking Ana Luisa jewelry and I was feeling left out. I was feeling the FOMO. I'll hold my hands up. And let me tell you, I was in desperate need of this collaboration because all of the jewelry that I own is like children related. Either they've made it or got it for me. My best mum bracelet is literally like falling haggard off my wrist. It's so disgusting and breaking. And a couple of months back now, I went to a wedding and I realized I have no like event, nice dressy jewelry. I had nothing to wear like that complements dress that isn't like, you know, handcrafted from like pasta pieces and rope. So I was really excited to actually update my jewelry collection. It's also been a very long time since I wore earrings like with any regularity, and the reason being that I find them like heavy and uncomfortable a lot of the time. You know, my ears were pierced at Claire's Accessories in like 1995. All right, so a good job was not really done, and they react to a lot of earrings. I put an earring in and I start feeling like the heat coming from the lobes. So I was excited to try Ana Luisa jewelry because not only are they beautiful, like simple, elegant, understated pieces. A lot of what Ana Luisa jewelry has to offer as far as their selection of pieces is very understated, elegant, the type of jewelry that appeals to me. Simple, small, dainty, that's like my vibe when it comes to jewelry. So light, but they just make good quality pieces that are actually affordable, but also sustainable. They are completely carbon neutral. Everything they sent me is like recyclable materials. All their packaging and everything is beautifully recyclable, although it still feels really nice quality as well. So that was exciting to try. So they sent me 4 pieces. First up were these Frida earrings, the stunning pearl drop. I've been looking for like a tiny pearl earring for like months and I could just never find anything as dainty and pretty and small as this. I can't even feel these in my ear. They're so gentle. My ears, like at no point, even when I first put these in, did my ears get red, which is like unusual for my ears because they are angry a lot of the time. I don't feel like I need to take them out at the end of the day. I don't notice them. They're so beautiful and subtle and soft, but really just exactly what I was looking for. And the second pair of earrings that I chose is the Paris set. These come in different sizes as well. So if the pair that I chose are just the classic Paris size, I think there is a smaller version of this as well if you wanted an even smaller earring. What I love about these is that although they're still quite small and understated and dainty, they're much more like fun, modern, youthful, and just a bit more like exciting to look at, a little bit chunkier, a little bit more noticeable for when you're just feeling in a more fun jewelry kind of mood. I then chose these 2 bangles. I feel like bracelets are definitely the thing that I was missing from my jewelry collection. So this is Emma and Diana, and these are so great because they are completely customizable. So they have this like closure where you can just make it nice and tight and snug on your wrist. So they stay wherever you want them to be, and you can custom that to your wrist. If you've got, you know, a skinnier wrist, you can make it nice and tight. If you've got a larger wrist, you can make sure that they still fit you, but you can position them wherever you like and make sure they stay there just by kind of giving them a bit of a squeeze. But again, really like classic, understated, beautiful pieces that are, you know, elegant and sophisticated, but really unique as well, just beautiful. So I will put all of the details of the jewellery that I chose in my description box along with a link. I would love for you guys to check out Ana Luisa. Let me know what you think of these pieces and what your favourite pieces are that you find on the website as well. Now, without further ado, let's get on with the rest of the video. So like I said, a lot of products this month. We had brushes, we've got perfumes, we've got makeup, we've got a little smidgen of skincare, we've got everything in between. So let's start off with the brushes. First up, this Sonia G Fusion Eye series. When Sonia told me she was coming out with a Fusion Eye set, I was beside myself because the Fusion face set changed my life. It helped me fall in love with a couple of creams even, which was shocking for me. So I was mega excited about this set. This set was specifically designed for creams and liquids, and due to the size of them, even more so specifically suited to cream and liquid eyeshadows. If you are a cream liquid eyeshadow person, this set was like made for you because it's got everything that you need. This larger brush, this is the Jumbo Worker in the cream version. There's a Jumbo Worker that's designed with powders. This is the version for creams. This is like perfect for eyeshadow primer for me. That's what I've been using this one for. You could also use it for concealer easily, cream contour even. The whole of this set is very versatile. There then are like a couple of sort of blending brushes. She's got her blender brush, of course, blending brush, really, really nice just to soften the edges of a cream like the Charlotte Tilbury cream eyes to mesmerize. It works beautifully with those. Then you've got the builder, which is your perfect lid shade. You've got an under eye thing brush. What's happening? The detail brush, which is again perfect for smoking out that lower lash line with a cream. And then you've got the worker brush, which, as the name would suggest, kind of gives you a bit of everything. Like you could use this again, lower lash line, inner corner, carve out your brows, or to add a pop there. This again could be used on the lid with cream shadows. This is just such a clever little set. Everything performs beautifully, and it really has helped me work with cream shadows and liquid shadows much easier, just without trying to find a brush that actually kind of suits them and works with them. Now I have these. Amazing. Another brush set that I was very kindly gifted by Rephr this month that changed the game. Another brush set, but completely different brush set to the Fusion series from Sonia. This is, I think this is my favorite ever set from Rephr because it's just like you could buy this set and you've basically got everything you need and everything you want to try. You could do a full face with just this set. I think it's probably their most versatile ever set that they've produced, and some of the shapes in here are utter genius and brushes that I have nothing else like in my collection, but I really needed. So we have brushes 33 to 37, starting off with 33. This is a really genius narrow crease brush for me. This is like one that could be versatile. Again, you could use it on the lower lash line, carve out your brow. You could use it to add shimmer in different places. For me, this has become my all-time favorite crease brush. Absolute beast for hooded eyes because it gets right in your crease. It's so narrow but fluffy, and I don't have anything like it. It's perfect for like precision crease work. I'm obsessed with it. You've then got a couple of sort of smaller, again, more versatile brushes. These are number 36 and 35. I should have said 35 and 36. I'm sorry. So 35 could be a concealer brush, could be a contour brush. This is probably the one of the set that I've used the least. This bad boy, number 36, is another genius shape. So apparently from the information from Rephr, this was like a hooded eye eyeshadow brush. That's kind of where it was placed by them. But again, just such a versatile brush. For me, I'm obsessed with this for concealer. It's got one sort of precise edge and then one rounded edge, and it just gets right up in there. It's perfect. You can get really close to your lower lash line. It's very gentle. It applies concealer really quickly without losing the coverage. I'm obsessed. You can also use like the sharp edge to carve out brows. It gives you everything that you need. One of my all-time favorite concealer brushes straight off the bat. Number 37 is like your all-rounder. You could use this as a brush You could use this for blush, bronzer, highlight. You could also use this for foundation, even concealer if you want a larger brush, cream bronzer. This is like literally could do your whole face with one brush. Really nice and soft, perfect size to be like as precise or as blended as you want. Again, just a beautiful, like versatile brush that can cover lots of bases. But let me tell you about this one. This is number 34 and game changer is what I'm going to say. Now, I did clean all of these brushes because I knew I was going to be showing them to you today, but I had to use this one. Okay, I had to use this one today because I can't stop using it. It's like no other brush I've ever seen or used in my life. Here she is. If this is not the finest, most perfect eyeliner brush you've ever seen in your life, I'll eat my hat. It is incredible. I used this to do my liner today. If you were struggling with like the inner corner liner, I read on Rephr's website about this set that this brush was designed to be like the most tiniest eyeliner brush known to man, but still kind of sturdy enough that it would allow you to be really precise and not sort of fluff about everywhere. And it could not be more perfect. It is amazing. If you're trying to do like a fox eyeliner and you fail most of the time like me, this brush is going to help you immensely. This set is still 50% off in the concept store, and that is a mega deal. Like this is, you could do your whole face and your whole eyes with just these brushes. So I think it's an amazing set as always from Rephr. Okay, now I usually try to stick to one perfume a month. That's kind of my rule that I have imposed upon myself. Okay, no one else said it. I just decided that that was a sensible number of fragrances to buy a month. So what happened is that last month, if you remember, I bought my Jo Malone fragrance and I didn't like it, wasn't a fan, was very disappointing. So I felt like I didn't buy a fragrance last month. It didn't count because I ended up gifting it to my mum. And so that's my excuse for buying two this month, okay? And I'm sticking to it. First up, we've got Dr. Vranjes Rosa Tobacco. Oh my days. Now, I'm obsessed with tobacco-y, woody scents, but a note that I'm typically not a big fan of, not obsessed with, is rose. You would think a fragrance that has the word rose in the name of it would be a firm pass for me. This is like the only rosy fragrance I think I've ever loved. If like rose is in the base of a fragrance, I'm always like, this rose in here, you can smell the rose, sure. But unlike literally every other fragrance with rose in it that I've ever tried, it doesn't dominate. It doesn't just drown everything else out. It doesn't just end up smelling of roses and nothing else. It's got this like background quality to the rose. It's there, it's present, it's peeking through, but it's not just like rose drowning every other note in the perfume. It's so smooth, woodsy, and slightly sweet, but just stunning, like autumn winter fragrance. Because of the rose again, is wearable all year round, I would say. It's not like mega powerfully strong. I'd say it's got like a moderate sillage, but a really great longevity. So you can smell it for like, a day or two on your clothes, but it's not like room filling. It's quieter, office appropriate, absolutely gorgeous. Can't stop smelling it. Perfect warming scent for this time of year. And the weight of this bottle, like nothing says like I'm a quality fragrance like the weight of this bottle. And then we have Stephane Humbert Lucas's God of Fire. Oh, this may be signature scent worthy, okay? This is gonna give Initio's Oud for Greatness a run for her money. First up, this bottle is like absolutely glorious, stunning, so beautiful. I picked this up because this is one that has gone a bit viral in the like fragrance community. Everyone's raving about it. Everyone is comparing it to Baccarat Rouge, which you guys know I love. So of course I had to try it for myself. It also is said to have like, not that it necessarily smells exactly like Baccarat Rouge, but it has that insane performance. Like everyone can smell it. You're going to get a lot of compliments. It's mass appealing. It's incredible as far as longevity, and sillage is there as well. It is absolutely stunning. I'm obsessed with this fragrance. This is Imagine Baccarat Rouge if you added a load of fruit in there. I'm typically not a fruity fragrance kind of girl, which is bizarre because of how much I love this, but this is different. It's stunning. Like I said, it's got that sort of unique, different quality, that edge from the Baccarat Rouge similarity with a load of fruit, and it just is stunning. Definitely an all year round fragrance as well, one that would be very versatile, incredible performance. I cannot say enough good things. It's stunning, just as good as everybody has been saying it is. Now, I want to give you an update on the K18 because I've now been using this for a couple of months. I did briefly mention this, I can't remember where, in one of these videos or maybe on my stories. And this is like a leave-in hair mask. So this is supposed to be like the new Olaplex treatment, but better, but more. So the directions for this on their website, they say to use this like every shampoo for the first like 4 or 5 washes. And then you can go to like maintenance. So I'm now in that maintenance. So I used it, I think 5 times in a row, which is why it's taken me so long because I like never wash my hair. Like once a week if it's lucky. So it's taken me a long time to get to the maintenance stage, okay? And oh my goodness, this has helped my hair so much. The biggest thing that I can tell you about this is if you look at like your hair ends and your hair is damaged, you know how you have like the little white dots, which basically tell you your hair is ruined forever. And they have gone. They've gone. I don't have the white dots anymore. My hair is healed from within, and it's amazing. I also find this easier to fit into my routine than Olaplex because it's a leave-in. You don't condition. So you just shampoo, get out the shower, once you've washed it out and done, you know, washed, you get out and instead of using a conditioner, you add some of this to your hair. So I feel like it's much better for like if you're on the go, you're not adding extra steps in, you're not having to like do it before you get in the shower and all that annoying stuff, leave it on forever. It's literally out the shower, whack it on, don't even have to bother with conditioner, and then you continue to go about your life. Lazy girl approved. Now, I found an SPF, a new SPF that I haven't tried before this month that I'm obsessed with. Might well be my new favourite SPF for under makeup in the winter because it's only an SPF 30. I do like more. I like more in the summer, but in winter I'll accept 30. Okay, I do live in England. So this is the Shiseido Urban Environment Age Defense Sun Jewel Care Oil-Free SPF 30. This stuff is amazing. I loved the other Shiseido SPF. Apparently Shiseido make banging SPFs, okay? This is the second one I've been obsessed with. It's so light and airy and it like soaks into the skin so beautifully, like nothing. It smells beautiful, fresh, summer's breezy. But because it's that oil-free, it's not greasy, it soaks in really quickly, it doesn't annoy my makeup or fight my makeup or make pilling happen. Stop trying to make pilling happen. It's just really smoothing as well, actually. It's a delight. I'm loving it. A great SPF for under makeup if you're looking for one and you're happy with the SPF 30. You live somewhere nice and cloudy like me. So that is all the non-makeup stuff I have to talk about. Let's move on because my goodness, there's a lot of stuff here. Okay. First for the makeups, let's talk about these 2 new Dior like holiday blushes. Oh, be still, my beating heart. So these are number 820. It's upside down, 826 and 556. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, 556 is my favourite by 200,000 miles, exactly. No more, no less. I think the deeper shade just is not really for my skin tone, but I also find it like less of a pretty finish. You know, I mean, this is my colour, my kind of blush. It's stunning, but it's such a pretty finish. It is more, so I shouldn't have put this over the SPF. I've just been realising that's silly because that hasn't even dried yet, but you get the idea. Beautiful, very like autumn friendly blushes. I'm realizing already with all the stuff I have left to talk about, I should have got a wipe. I mean, 556 is just like your perfect everyday peachy easygoing blush, but it's got such a gorgeous luminous pearlescent finish. Like you almost don't even need, well, you don't even need highlight with it. I do like this colour. I think it's better suited to a deeper skin tone, and it's just a bit less glowy on the cheeks, but both really gorgeous blushes. Now, next up, a couple of blushes from Chanel that aren't new, but they are new to me. And my friend Brit, beautiful Brit Clark, very kindly, generously, makeup fairy that she is, bought these for me from the US Chanel website, because these shades are not available here for some stupid reason, and I've been wanting them for forever. So this is Alezane, which was available here but is impossible to find now. Maybe it's discontinued. And then this is Jersey, which is the blush that I have on today. Both of these are like very neutral, very understated, like natural everyday blushes. Alezane is a little bit richer and has a bit more glow to it. Jersey is a bit more soft and subtle, a bit less glowy. I feel like Jersey, if you like elegance, Jersey is just like a hint more like impactful, a bit more pigmented. If you have a slightly more like medium skin tone, then Jersey is just like a little bit easier for me to like show the color. Both stunning blushes from Chanel, not new, but new to me, and both absolute hits. So thank you to the wonderful Brit. While we're talking about Chanel, let's talk about this jumbo highlight. Rude. This jumbo highlighter for holiday. This is the Rose Or shade of their Eclat Lunaire from their holiday collection with that stunning embossing. And it is a stunning highlighter. It's the highlighter I have on my cheeks today. It comes with a warning, all right? This will be better for me in summer. As I show it on my hand, you can see as I turn my hand there, it's leaving quite a lot of colour. Obviously that's a streak, it's not blended out, but the same thing happens on my skin. I have to be really careful with this. I'm like an NC30 now, kind of in my like winter, pretty much in my winter skin tone, NC30. And yeah, it's definitely leaving some colour, leaving a cast. I can't use this like on the bridge of my nose, or it just leaves like a rose gold streak down my nose that you can really is noticeable. So yeah, I wouldn't personally recommend this to anyone with like a fair to light medium skin tone. I think this would work for you medium and deeper. Of course, you do whatever you want. That's just my opinion. For me, it's a hair too deep for me right now. I'll get a lot of use out of this in summer. However, if you have a medium and deeper skin tone, this is stunning. It's so smooth and natural and glowy. It's a beautiful, smooth, flattering highlighter. Absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, I think if you have like a fair skin tone, I mean, you can do what you want, use it as a blush topper, but expect it to be like a noticeable cut, like color and cast on your skin if you're like fair to light medium. So just to show you the comparison between this is the Rephr de Camellia and then this is the Rose d'Or. Like there's a significant color difference. You can see how much deeper the Rose d'Or is than the Rephr de Camellia. So be warned. Proceed with caution if you are fair of skin. Next up, also on the topic of Chanel, let's talk about the SUBLIMAGE concealer, Le CORRECTEUR, however you would like to refer to her. Here's the thing, I'm wearing this concealer today. I like it. I think it's a really good, nice, lightweight, hydrating concealer with some bang-in coverage. I've used this now with a sponge. I've used it building it up. I like it. Nothing bad has happened. It hasn't ever creased throughout the day. It's like not ever not worked with anything. I think it's gorgeous. The packaging is massively letting it down. It's such a flipping mess. And I feel like it's going to be a very long time before that mess stops, because the lid even comes out, the little plastic cap that's causing all the issues even comes out with the lid. I could throw that away, but it's covered in product that I don't want to really just lose as it's so expensive. The whole thing is a massive mess and such a waste of product all over the lid and the insert, and it's a nightmare. Every time I use this, it gets all over my desk, all over my hands. So much is getting wasted and it's so expensive. That is a massive deal breaker for me. It's depressing and sad because I think the product inside is great, but like I said in my original review, it doesn't beat the Huda for me. I like the Huda just as much and I don't have to deal with all of this mess. So I think it was like really close to like excellence and genius, especially because the packaging itself feels and looks so beautiful, but when you open it, it looks horrid because it's just everywhere. So if that hadn't happened, this might have been my new holy grail, but I don't know if that's just me, but that's a deal breaker. I don't want mess everywhere. I've got enough problems. We're still going on about Chanel, but I don't know what to tell you. There's a lot of Chanel to talk about this month. Next up, again, another product that's not new, but it's new to me, the Beige Water Fresh Tint. This is, so they brought out like a newer version of this, which was called something else, the Water Fresh something else. I feel like it had the same name, no? Something slightly different. The really small, stingy one that I was not a fan of. A lot of you guys said, you know what, Charlotte, the original is way better than this one. This one has much less coverage, is much more natural, but still gives you that fresh, healthy glow, which is like the one thing that I liked about the newer version. This, I'm obsessed with it. It's so beautiful. Since like I've moved into winter and I've lost all the sort of summer colour to my skin, I can't use the Chantecaille anti-aging skin tint anymore because it's too dark. Like I can use it, but I have to like take it all down my neck and it's kind of a bit too deep for me to use all over my face now on its own. And so I've been looking for an alternative to that on those like no makeup or low makeup days. And this is it. It's just, it doesn't really give you coverage. It just gives you really beautiful evened out skin tone with smooth pores and texture, gorgeous luminosity, tones down all the redness, but you don't need to do a lot else because it's really not got any coverage. You still perfectly see your skin. It's just kind of perfecting. It's stunning. I love it. Way better than that little rubbish one. I don't know why they needed to do that. Just the first one was fine. It was great. Now, finally, moving on from Chanel, hogging the whole video, let's talk about Haus Labs. So I did a little order from Haus Labs. I tried out their lip lacquer that was like a viral TikTok sensation and their foundation this month. I ordered direct from their website. This was here, I think, in a week. Really nice packaging, really nice communication, customer service. Shipping was free because I spent over a certain amount, but I don't think it's free if like I just had got this. So be warned. I didn't get any taxes or anything extra on top. Start off with the foundation. It's gorgeous, beautiful, such a beautiful foundation. It gives you that, it's literally everything that I like about a foundation. It's like medium to full coverage very quickly, beautiful natural skin-like finish, very glowy and luminous, very flattering on lines and texture, wears really nicely, solid 8 hours with no issues. It's got no SPF in it, I don't think. So it's nighttime safe. I love the packaging. I think it's gorgeous. This has gone in my top drawer. I've been loving it. I will keep playing with it. I've only worn it like 3 or 4 times, but I'm reaching for it all the time. It's beautiful. I really hope that this is going to come to the Sephora UK website because it's a banging foundation. Now, the lip lacquer I had some issues with. So I got the shade Sepia. I did not read the instructions, okay? I am stupid and I thought I don't need instructions. Okay, I've been doing this a while. I did need instructions, so that was a lesson learned. So I picked up the shade Sepia, as I said, stunning, amazing autumn winter colour, absolutely gorgeous. What I should have recognised is 1, you have to shake it before you use it. 2, whatever you do, don't do that, okay? So that was the issue that I had. When I first applied this, I gave it one of these. It was awful, okay? It wouldn't stick to my lips. It all separated. It was like stringing off. It was a whole mess. I thought, what's going on here? This is not right. So then I went and read the instructions and it basically said you apply it, don't touch it. Don't touch it, whatever you do. Leave it there for like 10 seconds until it's dried. And then it was set. It's beautiful. It's like a gloss that dries down. Like it's literally all, this is a madness because it looks so shiny. It's just like the Chanel Double Tenue. This is perhaps a little shinier. What I do notice is if you have a meal, it will wear away in the center, but not a big issue. You can touch that up. If you don't eat like a whole greasy meal, it will stay on like a whole day and stay shiny and glossy. Amazing, beautiful. A lot of people sort of like, it's a great affordable version of the Chanel, but if you live in the UK and you have to pay for the shipping, it's more expensive than the Chanel. So please bring us Haus Labs, Sephora UK. Like, what are you doing here if you're not going to do it properly, you know? Bring us the brands that we don't have, please. So next up, let's talk about some Charlotte Tilbury. Now these face palettes, it feels like they came out 6 months ago, but I reviewed these just before my September roundup, so I didn't get a chance to include them, but I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to say. They're stunning. I think this is my favourite ever Charlotte Tilbury like face palette, and that's saying something because I had a love affair with Nudegasm for a very long time. But the thing is about Nudegasm is that I don't really use the contour shades because they're contours instead of bronzers. Don't really use them. They're a bit light for me, just not really what I like. So it's literally just a blush and a highlight in there for me. Whereas this gives me 2 blushes and 2 highlights. The overall effect, this is the deeper of the 2 palettes, is utterly stunning. Classic Charlotte Tilbury. So beautiful, glossy, divine Charlotte Tilbury, you know, the vibes that she gives us. I love it. I love this packaging. This is the lighter of the 2. Again, absolutely stunning. I've done a whole review on these 2, showing them side by side on the face. So I don't really need to tell you anything more. Nothing has changed. They're gorgeous. I think they're stunning. A great gift for someone who loves Charlotte Tilbury for Christmas. This would be beautiful. No one's going to be disappointed with this, finding this under the tree. I'll tell you that for nothing. One of my favourite releases of the holiday season so far. And next we have the Pop Shots, which Charlotte Tilbury came out with. I got a couple of shades, Emerald Eyes and Diamond Eyes. Now, as I said in my review, a lot of fallout from these single eyeshadows. Bear that in mind if that's an issue for you. It's not really for me. I don't really care about fallout. I just do my eyes first and I don't have a problem. I will say Diamond Eyes, I feel like is a very, you know, we've all got a shimmery champagne eyeshadow. It is very beautiful and I have been wearing it as like a one and done shadow with just some bronzer. The Emerald Eyes I think is more special. I think the shift in there, the blue-green shift, is a bit like it gives you a bit more of something unusual that you might not already have times 300. They're gorgeous. The green I think is worth picking up if you love this type of shade. I feel like all the other shades you've got in your palettes, but I would, yeah. The packaging is stunning. I think they're beautiful on the lid. I get a lot of compliments when I wear them, but they are really expensive for single eyeshadows. So, you know, really think about whether you have something like this or not in your collection, because I would have thought that you do, if we're being honest with ourselves, you know. And then we had the lipstick, the random one lipstick that was released as part of this holiday collection in Rosy Seduction. I like this. I love the kissing formula, so we know that I like that. I love this bejeweled packaging, just like Nude Romance came in. It's a beautiful shade, but to me it feels very summery. I just don't feel like winter holiday vibes from this sort of quite sort of rosy, peachy, quite deep shade. It just feels very summery for me, so I haven't been wearing it a lot. Although I like it, it just does, it's not the type of shade that I'm kind of drawn to at the moment. So yeah, I think that's kind of neither here nor there. Again, I don't think there's anything super special or exciting about the shade, but you know, it's a nice version of her kissing formula. Let's talk about the lipstick I have on today. So this is my first ever Gucci lipstick and it's the shade 209, and I bought this after seeing someone posting about it on Instagram and I was like, that is like the ultimate winter autumn lipstick shade. It's just so beautiful. It's rich but wearable. And I'd never tried Gucci lipsticks before. I don't think, have I? I don't think I have ever tried Gucci lipsticks before. I don't remember it if I did. I'm like nearly 39, okay? I don't have great memory anymore. My memory is not what it used to be, okay? I've just got too much going on up there. I'm trying to remember PE days and who's got an after school club. I haven't got room for all of the makeup I've ever tried, and that's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. But it's just a gorgeous, the formula is so smooth and creamy and pigmented, like that's like one swipe or two. And the pigment is amazing, but it's really lightweight on the lips, which is surprising. I really like this formula and I'm definitely open to buying more shades now. But this is like giving me autumn and winter in a lip, you know? Now, moving on to the numerous eyeshadow palettes that I tried this month, which is not like me. I'm not a huge eyeshadow kind of girl. this colour story from Dior, this is the Khaki Neutrals, just grabbed my heart and just ripped it right out, you know? But this colour story just spoke to me, but I did expect to be disappointed by the actual palette because it's happened to me before, okay? I've been burned before by these Dior Backstage palettes, and let's not say it's not like crazy impactful as far as the pigment or like the shimmers, but this one for me, it just works. It just works as a colour story. I think they've absolutely nailed it. Again, I've got a video of me using this on the eye where I use every shade in here, and I absolutely loved the look. I feel like these colour stories are really in short supply, and I think this is a beautiful one. It still does, you know, it's not super impactful, crazy metallics like Pat McGrath would do. You know, I mean, imagine a palette like this, colour story from Pat McGrath. Hold me back, help. Like, we would love to see it, but it's just very sophisticated and understated, but so beautiful. And I love every colour in here. And actually, as a palette, it really works. Like, I was pleasantly surprised. This is my favourite Dior eyeshadow palette of all time. I'm just going to say it, okay? It's just how I feel. Let's move on to the eyeshadow palette I have on my eyes right now, and it is the Huda Beauty Empowered palette. I haven't done a video on this one just because I didn't have time. My first one of these arrived smushed to smithereens, okay? Every shimmer in here was basically on the floor and all over my rug as well. So that was fun. So I had to like send it back, get a refund, order a new one. And then I was on my break while I swapped around my filming space. And I just haven't had time, all right, is what I'm saying. Haven't had time to do like a video of it. Also, I did a vote for you guys, and I think a lot of you just weren't interested in it. So that's, you know, fair enough. You don't have to be. I wasn't, almost wasn't. But this is a beautiful, beautiful, essentially neutral eyeshadow palette. I love these shades down here, these sort of greys and these smoky colours. They're beautiful. I think this is a stunning colour story. I think Huda Beauty does colour stories beautifully, great colour stories, and gives us something different as well with some of the formulas in here. What I will say is I do have a bit more trouble with the mattes from Huda than I do some of the other brands like Charlotte Tilbury, Pat McGrath, Natasha Denona, lots of other brands. I find her mattes tricky to work with, trickier to blend, a bit drier. These are definitely an improvement. I would say the previous large palettes that I've tried, these are definitely not as dry as previous. There's been steps forward, but there are times when I find this, like I'm taking a lot longer to blend than I would some of the other brands. Slightly trickier to work with, but the looks that I've done with this eyeshadow palette, I've been really happy with and I've loved, and I think it's a really nice load of options, really versatile. You get dozens of looks out of here and they're all very wearable. You get two liners as well. I used the black to do my liner today with the Rephr brush. I also used the combination of these on my daughter for Halloween to do like a skeleton, and then I used a bit of this shade under her eyes to make her look haggard, you know, funsies. So I think it's a fun palette, a really nice palette. I don't think the quality is like 100 out of 100, up there with Pat and Natasha, but it's a nice palette with a lot of options. Now let's talk about Natasha Denona's My Dream palette. I mean, Natasha, if we're talking about colour stories, Natasha is the queen of colour stories. She never misses. She always gives us a stunning colour story. I was very underwhelmed by this when I saw the pictures. I didn't even know if I was going to buy this. It took me ages to pick this up because I was just on the fence about it. I couldn't get it in time because it launched late here, so I couldn't get it in time to do a review. So for my own purposes, I just thought I don't need it. Looks just blah to me. Then I arrived and I started using it and I'm head over heels in love. I think this might be my new favourite Natasha Denona palette of all time. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I don't think the pictures and swatches have done this justice. It's so much more beautiful in person, in real life, on the eye, to how it looks in all of the swatches and things that I've seen. Just everything in here is absolutely stunning. The mattes are absolutely top notch. The shimmers are insane. The quality is off the scale. And actually on me, this is like stunning neutral palette. So I mean, if you have an extra like £5, I would 100% get this one over the Huda Beauty, because I think it's worth it for the extra quality. If you like neutral looks, you are going to knock your socks off with this one. It's an absolute belter of a palette. Really in love with it, and I wasn't expecting that. And finally, we come to the Pat McGrath holiday items that have arrived so far. They're still coming, okay? They're still arriving, but this is what we've got to so far. So first up, we have the two 5-pan eyeshadow palettes. Again, I have a video showing both of these on the eyes and a tutorial with each of these. Again, a surprising hit for me. Like, not that I thought I wouldn't like these. I wasn't expecting the quality in these 5 pans to be as good as it is. I think I thought because these are such a lower, what am I doing? This is harder than I thought. I think I thought because these are such a lower price point for the brand that the quality wouldn't be there. The quality is there in spades. These are two stunning little 5-pan palettes. I mean, which you love is just your preference. Do you want cool or do you want like warm mauves? Choose your corner, you know, choose what tickles your pickle. They're both stunning. The quality is amazing and such an excellent price point for Pat McGrath. I really like the packaging. I love the looks that I get out of both of these, and I've been reaching for these quite a lot, which for minis is, you know, unusual for me, but I think these are amazing and a much bigger hit, and for me a much better choice than like the large holiday palette from Pat that I just wouldn't get a lot of use out of. These, I'll travel with them, I'll use them a lot, they're very wearable, and I think they're belters of 5 pans, because a lot of the time 5 pans don't include everything you need to do a complete look. These contain everything you need to do an entire, really impactful, beautiful look, and I think they're a great, again, stocking filler. Hello. Now I also picked up the individual blush and highlight from this collection. I skipped the blush palettes because, as we spoke about previously in my collection video on the Pat McGrath holiday collection, talking about what I was going to get and wasn't, the blush highlights contain a lot of repeat shades. So for me, when I have a lot of Pat McGrath blushes, they're a complete waste of money because I have half of what's in there. So yeah, I felt like the individual blush was like a better choice for me because it looked like something I was really going to enjoy. And I do. So this is Nude Venus 2. I have swatch comparisons of this blush against Nude Venus 1 and all of the other blushes from Pat that are similar on my Instagram if you want to check this out. The warning is it's very similar to Nude Venus 1 if you have that one. Very similar. The difference is, I say this one is slightly peachier. The original Nude Venus is slightly pinker. This one also I think has more of that pearlescent finish. It's very luminous and beautiful on the cheeks. Such a stunning everyday like neutral peachy blush. I love it, but it is very similar to the original if you wanted something that was like, you know, worth picking up if you have the original. And now this highlighter, I mean, the embossing is absolutely stunning. The highlighter itself is beautiful, I think. Very, very pretty, very reflective, but she is shimmery. I'm going to warn you, she's shimmery. I've had a lot of you telling me you're really disappointed because it's got a lot of sparkle, a lot of shimmer in there. If you were expecting really smooth, understated, subtle highlight, that is not going to be it. There's definitely a fair amount of like shimmer and sparkle in there. Not a super smooth like luminosity, it's definitely sparkly. So you have been warned. That doesn't put me off it. I think it's beautiful. It looks really pretty on the skin. I think it's an absolute delight. Very, very gorgeous. And I think, you know, the embossing is like out of this world. So I've been really enjoying the highlighter. I love the blush. I've been enjoying the highlighter, but if you are expecting it to be super smooth and not show texture and have no visible shimmer or sparkle, it's definitely not going to be for you. So there you have it. That is everything that I've tried that was either new or new to me this month of October. We're almost the last couple of episodes of this series for the year. Thank you again so much to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video. As I said, everything that I talked about, all my jewellery and everything, will be linked in the description box. So please check out what they have on their website and let me know what your favourites are. What are some of the products that you're drawn to and that you love on their website? I'd be very interested to know. If you love any of the same, have any of the same favourites as me, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.